Today I'm speed viewing the LEGO Lord of the Rings Rivendell set. It's full of awesome references and details from the actual location in the movie. And boy did J.K. Tolkien write details in his book. The build is split into three sections: the library where all the nerds hang out, the main castle where the council sits in chairs like Giga Chads, and the gazebo where the hopeless romantics stay. Starting with the library section, we have a bunch of super cool statues around them. It's a real shame that they don't have any leg printing. That's a lot of figures to be caught lacking on LEGO. The terrain under them is a beautiful molding of rocks and plants, and there's even a place for Frodo to hide when Gandalf gets angry. Around the back, there's a small balcony on the second floor with a super sick painting of two dudes playing tag. Finally, on the outside, there's this awesome tower made of a bunch of curves and slopes. On the inside, there are two rooms. In the lower, there's this awesome bookcase and a small bed for little people to sleep in. On the top floor is another bigger bed with a painting of a dude above. Might be a bit hard to sleep when you know old Elrond is watching you at all times. There's also this super cool desk and chair build, which are apparently structurally integral to the build of the castle. On the desk, Bilbo's writing a book called The Hobbit? I doubt that'll ever sell any copies. Moving on to the other side of the castle, we have this awesome nature section with great trees, ferns, and an epic waterfall and river. The water incorporates windshield pieces for the waterfall, as well as a bunch of white slopes for the foaming river. There's a bridge that spans the lake and leads to both different areas of the build. At the top, we have this super cool gazebo. Look at the way that they use the candle piece for anything but a candle. There's also life preservers in the roof in case someone's drowning in the river. Might be kinda hard to use though with how high up they are. On the lower section, there's this awesome forge build with a bunch of sick flames. The anvil also has a clip so the minifigure doesn't have to hold the sword while they're casting it. There's also this super sick lantern built into the wall, along with some glow-in-the-dark mushrooms to provide light. The trees are awesome. They incorporate so many colors into the leaves. Moving into the underground section, there's a grindstone and a workbench to forge the blade, as well as a place for some weapon racks. LEGO also put in this window to nowhere, but don't worry, even though it's blocked, the windows in the 1x4x6 wall panel still provides light for this room. Finally, moving on to the inside of the middle section, we have a bunch of awesome little areas. There's a couple of paintings of Helm's Deep and a Viking ship on the back of the roof. I don't understand why the elves have a painting of another city though. Moving down, there's this sick balcony with this lady holding a weirdly shaped dagger. I doubt that weapon could definger someone, let alone defeat them. On the bottom floor is this epic tile pattern with this super cool compass in case you get lost in the hall. Off to the side, there's a desk where someone's drawing a map to buried treasure. One is to find a weird stick, and the last one's to find a girlfriend. Thankfully, that one doesn't have an X on it. There's also a bunch of candle holders that don't use the actual candle piece and look way better. Towards the side, there's this weird painting of the elves making soup. In the little side house, there's an awesome table with a leaf bread, as well as this super cool observatory section. The top of the roof for this section is made up of a bunch of 1x1 tiles that make a super cool pattern to look at. That is, if you don't die of old age while straightening them first. The front has these awesome white and sand green pillars with a bunch of curls and swirls in its design. In the center square, there's this super cool tree with a bunch of different ways the branches and roots are made, as well as a bunch of leaf colors. The council section is made up of a bunch of chairs that use hot dog pieces as armrests and popsicle sticks as chair back. There's this awesome compass design in the floor with a pillar coming from. I don't get why they're all looking at a wedding ring. I didn't know Bilbo was married. Finally, you can yoink the whole council section off to reveal the Eye of Voldemort that's hiding under the floor. Looking at the minifigures, we have an awesome selection, including all 10 members of the Fellowship. Starting with the main characters, the elves. They have this awesome new hairpiece with dual molded ear and hairs all in one spot, but it does make them hard to tell apart. How am I even supposed to know which one is Agent Smith? I just don't get why they didn't use the tall legs from the Avatar line. Everyone loves those minifigures. With the dwarves, they have these awesome beard pieces and use mid-legs, so they're slightly taller than the Hobbit figures. Talk about height supremacists. We have the humans, Boromir and Aragorn. They're pretty boring, but they have cool swords. Then there's Legless, which is weird because he has legs. Maybe LEGO realized they should have used the tall leg. For the hobbits, there's all 4 of the group, including Bilbo and Frodo. They all use dual molded short legs for their hairy feet. And then there's Dumbledore, who's a really harsh grader.